Hi, ladies. I'm sorry that it's taken me a few days to give you an update on Shania's ER visit. Um, One of the reasons is because I've been very busy with Shania. Um, if you hear some noise in the background, it's my foot massager. I just got off of work and my feet hurt like crazy. So, um, to the story of how we got to the ER. My mom was babysitting Shania for me Saturday night as I was had to work, and Shania had been having this cough, which is something that she normally has around this time of the year. And we was starting back up her nebulizer about every 4 to 6 hours, and her steroid is twice a day, so she still gets that regardless. So my mom, I kept calling my mom on my breaks, and on my last break, my mom was like, "Shania is gasping for air," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And the way she explained it was that she was trying to take a deep breath, but I guess it wasn't happening. It sounded like she was trying to throw up, but she wasn't trying to throw up, she was trying to breathe. And my mom checked the temperature and she said it was 101.9. So, at this point, I had to go back to my register, so I couldn't answer my phone. So my mom called me, and I couldn't answer the phone, so I called back, and she texted me. She said Shania is with her dad, and we're taking her to the emergency room. At this point, I was ready to get off of work. It was not even 7 o'clock yet. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get off. And I work about maybe 45 minutes away from the hospital that Shania was at. And when I tell you that it felt like an eternity getting there, it felt like an eternity getting there. So, I tried to get out early. The answer was no. And finally, I got some information from her dad. When she triaged, her oxygen level was 94, which was pretty low. At first, I thought maybe he didn't get the correct reading, but as I learned when I got back, the doctor said, yeah, when she first came in, her oxygen was pretty low, it was at 94. Um, so I was even more worried and stressed out. My parents had came and picked me up to take me to the hospital after they dropped off Shania to her dad to go to the hospital. And the video you seen was after they came in and checked her oxygen. Her heart rate was really high. It was in the 170s. They said she was tachycardia, most likely because of her trying to, get the oxygen, get her oxygen to her body and her fever. And what the doctor said she suspected the fever too. They checked the temperature, it was 101.6. Uh, they gave her Motrin for her fever. They gave her a liquid steroid, and they gave her amoxicillin because she has an ear infection. Uh, After about maybe an hour or two, because they did a swab for RSV and the flu, which came back negative. By the way, her chest X-ray looked great. Um, they said that after everything, her heart rate went back to normal, and her oxygen came up to 98, 99. And because her vitals had, stabilized, they was like, okay, we can send you home. We didn't get home till about 3 or 4 that morning. But the doctor said we wanted to see, she wanted the first night to see her pediatrician um, Monday morning. So um, throughout the weekend, Sunday she was okay. As soon as the nighttime hit, the coughing started worse. We had gave her a breathing treatment. Within an hour, the coughing wouldn't let up. We gave her another one within 20 minutes. After about 20 minutes, the coughing wouldn't let up. I called the nurse hotline. They said if it was 2 treatments within an hour, they'd take her back to the ER. Um, what I did was I suctioned out her nose really good, and she did really good for the rest of the night as far as subsiding in her coughing. So we finally went to the doctor Monday, and I was talking to the nurse, and the nurse said usually when these things happen, it is most likely the worst at nighttime. That's when the coughing is worse. That's when the fever spikes. That's when things happen, which would we know would be basically like it was when I was at work because it happened at night. Uh, As far as the reason why her oxygen dropped so low, they don't really know. What they think happened was that she had some mucus in her lungs and she couldn't clear it, and she got that one good cough that cleared it and opened up her lungs, or she was coughing so much that her airways swelled up, and with her being small, it was really tight and she couldn't breathe through it. Um, Now, I told the nurse, I said, with Shanyia being on liquid steroids just about every month for cough and wheezing, I know that they don't diagnose babies this young as asthmatic. And she said no. In her chart, Shanyia is diagnosed as an asthmatic, and she's also diagnosed with reactive airway disease. So there's my answer to the reason why my baby is on two forms of steroids and a albuterol. And right now, the doctor stated that breathing treatment should be every 4 hours until things start getting better for her. Uh, and we go back next week to check on her ear infection because he says a lot of pus in her ear, and he wants to make sure that it drains properly, and if not, then we have to find another course of treatment because she's on amoxicillin 400 milligrams twice a day for her ear infection. I'm not gonna lie, working and having Shanyia health the way it is really hard because I want to call every 5 minutes. I want to make sure she's okay. I worry about her in daycare. But everybody knows the plan from my mom, her other grandmom, to daycare. Everybody knows the action care plan as far as what happens if she can't stop coughing, or if she starts having retractions, or she starts gasping for air. Anything, they know what to do, and most likely is to take her straight to the ER because there's no playing around when it comes to this situation, because as easily as her oxygen dropped to 94, it could have been even worse. And I thank God that it wasn't, because I wouldn't know how to live with myself if even I wouldn't know because I couldn't get off of work. So it's working comes with its ups and downs right now. And I'm sorry to keep you waiting for so long for an update. Just been so busy with Shanyia lately, and we're trying to work. I thank everyone for their well wishes and their prayers. I thank you so much because it meant a lot. Um, and right now, Shanyia should be on her way home from her grandparents' house. Her dad went to go pick her up. I'll do another video so y'all can see Miss Shanyia. I know it's been a while. She will be 17 months on the 24th of this month, and I would like for you to see her. She's just it's sad because she's so happy, and when she's so sick, she's just so miserable. All she did was cry, and the nurses everybody was super sweet and understanding. And I just felt so bad for my baby because I couldn't help her. Besides doing what the doctor said, I'm doing everything I can do. Um, there's nothing else that we basically can do for her, but keep her as comfortable as we can until this dies down. So, all right, ladies. Again, thank you all for everything, and as soon as I can, I will make another video with Shanyia so y'all can see her. I know y'all want to see her. So, alright, y'all have a good night, and thank you once again. Bye-bye.